Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Once again, returning to the great, the fantastic, the wonderful Dimash. This time performing at the Young Prodigies and Superstars concert. Not really sure what that is, but if it's a Young Prodigy Superstar concert, Dimash fits right in. And he's performing The Show Must Go On, the wonderful Queen piece. I expect high notes galore. We're going to get some crazy drama and acting, and he's probably going to be bent over and singing just incredible. But also we're going to get some interesting artistry in this as well. Dimash always delivers in the performance aspect of things. Yes, he sounds good. Yes, he can do things that a lot of people can't, but he's also a performer too. And he stays true to the lyrics and to the meaning of the song, and he's going to make you feel things. So I think we're going to feel some things in this video. This recommendation comes directly from Buy Me a Coffee. So you can check out Buy Me a Coffee if you want your recommendations to be bumped up to the top of the list. That's in the video description, as is my Patreon link. Check that out for behind the scenes footage, extra content, all of that stuff. What I'm going to start doing on my Patreon is exclusive Patreon videos. So videos that you won't see from some of your favorite artists, Lara Fabian, Dimash, Floriansen, all of those fantastic artists are going to be featured on Patreon exclusively some of the time.
Spaces, what are we living for? Abandoned places, I guess we know the score. On and on, does anybody know what we are looking for? Another hero, another mind to describe behind the curtains. In the pantomime, hold the line. Does anybody want to take it anymore? Show must go on. Show must go on. Inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, hearing Dimash in this video so far, in this performance, it's nice to hear him. He started off at a reasonable dynamic level and at a reasonable part of his vocal range. That's kind of rare, to be honest. Sometimes he starts really low, sometimes he starts really high, but it's nice to hear him start in the middle, and he's only going to build from that. You heard he went into his falsetto at a certain point, but hearing him sing at a soft volume that's not whispered is nice, because he does pretty much everything. And when you can catch him doing something that's somewhat normal, and we can just really hear his plain, straight up singing voice with no theatricality, nothing, just kind of bare bones his singing, you can appreciate how beautiful the sound actually is. And to hear him with a lovely orchestra, it's nice. And one thing with him that I'm appreciating here too is that the text is coming out. I actually don't know this Queen song at all. This is my first time hearing it, I think. Probably heard it on the radio at some point, but I'm getting the text from him, the English text. And that's not always the easiest thing to do when English isn't your first language. Also, what's going on with his hand? Did he have an injury or something? Maybe you can fill me in. This video is probably super old, I'm guessing, but I would love to know why he has a cast on right here. But listen to this transition from his lighter chest voice, heady voice kind of thing into the falsetto countertenory sound that we expect from Dimash.
In the pantomime, hold the line. Does anybody want to take it anymore? Show must go on. Show must go
He's really not trying to do too much here, just keeping it nice and soft. The orchestra, the musicians behind him are matching that kind of energy too. And what Dimash is probably doing is he's setting himself up. In fact, all of the musicians are setting up for something really big. And there's probably going to be some fireworks going on here.
Inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on. Whatever happens, I leave it all to chance. Another courage, another failed romance. On the north, does anybody know what we are looking for?
Yes, Dimash.
Another hero,
spitting out the text.
another mind described behind the curtain. In the pantomime, on the line. Does anybody want to take it anymore? Show must go on. Show must go on. Inside my heart is breaking. My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on.
Okay, before we get into whatever the heck is going on with this violin being played like a cello, let's dissect some of this sound from Dimash. So, as I predicted, he moved from the soft chest voice into the soft falsetto sound, and then we get that real strong belt, that mixed belt that Dimash is so famous for. Like, he can just hop up there and it's absolutely incredible. Props to him. I'm really getting him spitting out that text. He's really working hard to get every consonant in, and I'm really appreciating that, because sometimes that gets lost in the texture. Not really with him, but with really any singer. If you don't spit out the words, we're not going to understand you. So I've gone back a little bit because it's kind of hard to see because it's all black, but look at his power stance here. So he's got the legs really spread out. That's going to give him power as he gears up for what's to come vocally. And even what he's doing right now, which isn't crazy high, just to give you a little snippet, this is what he's singing currently.
Another courage, another failed romance. On the north, does anybody know?
So, nothing crazy, but he's got the knees bent, he's got the legs spread apart, and he's going to do that thing that I've kind of picked up on in the last couple of videos, where he's really going to bend over a lot. And I don't know if that's for him, if that's just generating more power for his singing voice, if it's activating maybe his lower abdominals or something like that, because you can't just sing like that without a lot of work. And that's what I really want to drive home with Dimash, is that as great as he is and as talented as he is and all that stuff, he's only able to do it because he's worked so hard to work on the technique. Those kinds of sounds don't come naturally. You might have a natural affinity towards doing those kinds of things, or you might discover, oh, I can sing up there and it feels good and I'm comfortable there. But to get to his level, there's a lot of work that goes in. And part of it, I think, is that physicality from that sort of hinge that he does at the waist. He must feel a comfortable position, sort of downward slope, getting engagement from the abs. I think that's probably what it is. He moves around on the stage a lot, which helps. I always find anytime I'm doing a musical that my singing gets better once I have choreography, because I'm moving around. I have a bit more purpose and direction in what I'm doing, which activates the body more, which then makes my sound a lot better, And even someone like Dimash, who has a very large range, when he's singing high, it's still more work than when he's singing low. So you'll notice that when he's singing high and it's very loud and very intense, you're going to see his body react in some way. So let's see him just pace around the stage a little bit here. He's gonna have a lot of energy, but not a lot of tension in the face. There's a lot of intention in the face, but not a lot of tension, if that makes sense.
What we are looking for, another hero, another mind described behind the curtain.
See, look at that. It's slightly bent over. It's just a power stance, really, because if he's just sort of like standing like this, is he going to be able to sing? Probably not. Probably not.
In the pantomime,
That's clean.
hold the line. Does anybody want to take it anymore?
Like, listen to him spit out those words. I'm understanding him really, really well here. I wonder, too, how his hand injury has affected his performance. You wouldn't, if you didn't see it, you would obviously never know. And he's a professional, so that thing is not going to phase him at all. But it would be an adjustment for him because he's probably used to having the mic in one hand, flipping over to the other, or doing something with one hand while you're holding the mic. Now he's forced to hold it with his left hand. So I wonder, I'd love to know. I don't think we can really know, but I'd love to know how that affected his performance, because I've never performed with an injury before. I've performed in uncomfortable costumes and shoes and stuff when I'm doing shows, and that is a big hindrance that you just have to get over. But I wonder how it affects him, or maybe he doesn't even notice.
The line. Does anybody want to take it anymore? Show must go on. Show must go on. Inside my heart is breaking. My gut may be flagging, but my smile.
Yeah. So you notice too, and I've also commented on this before, but his operatic training, classical training that he has, it comes out when he's singing those really intense notes, and they have a very even vibrato. Let's see if we can find that.
Show must go on.
You can hear that vibrato perfectly even, and that's a supported sound. That's the kind of the result that comes of having good breathing technique, is you hear that evenness in the vibrato. So then it makes it more interesting when he sings with straight tone, because you hear the difference in those two kinds of sounds. One is very full vibrato. We can hear that vibration. Another is equally full, but it's a straight tone. That's what's cool. That's what makes it pleasing to our ears. Not only is he a good singer, but there's variety in what he does. So listen to that one more time. Hear the vibrato, and then I don't know if it's the next note, but a few seconds later, you hear that straight tone.
Inside my heart is breaking. My gut may be flagging, but my smile.
Did you hear it? Da da dee da dum. So that was straight tone, and it's subtle, but I think that's the psychology of our love of Dimash and the obsession, the craze that so many of you have with him, is that he does these little things. And part of me says he's just a performer and a lot of this is spontaneous, but I think there is an element of Dimash as a brand, and I think all good, really good performers like him, where they think these things through. Okay, how, I have the ability, as I'm Dimash, I have the ability to sing in all parts of my voice, and it all sounds good. I have this really great classical music background. I could be an opera singer if I wanted to. I can belt, I can do falsetto, all that stuff. How can I use that, all of those tools, how can I use them in a strategic way, in a pleasing way, in a musical way, in a tasteful way? How can I do that? And I think these things are thought out, and then there's an element of spontaneity in there as well. So it's a nice balance, and I think that's why we enjoy it so much. It's just absolutely fantastic. So now, what the heck is going on with this cello violin thing? I'm so intrigued at this bent over thing. Okay, what was going on with that violin? That was really cool. It actually sounded like an electric guitar, and I love how the conductor just turned around and shredded on it and then just casually turned back into the orchestra. That was really cool. So I hope you're noticing now when Dimash is singing with vibrato versus with straight tone. Maybe you never even picked up on that before, but it's conscious. It's a conscious decision. Certain words in the sentence might make more sense if there's vibrato. Others, maybe it's better to do straight tone. I'm not entirely sure. But as he generates more power in his singing, the more intense his posture gets. So he's getting higher and higher. He's kind of up there. And then when it's really, really big, he is fully bent over. So there's something physically that he enjoys about that posture in his singing. It benefits him. For me, it would probably make all the blood rush to my head. But for him, maybe it just helps him elongate the vocal tract or generate more power from the lower abdominals. Maybe it's just purely psychological and he thinks it's a cool power stance, which it is, which is then resulting in more, better sound for him. I really don't know the answer. If you have any theories, if you have any thoughts or questions on that, please leave them in the comment section. But it's so frequent in his performing that there has to be something to it. There has to be more to it. So let's listen to him do that again. I want to hear this shredding of the violin. And you can hear how even the vibrato is there too, right? So that's consistency across the voice, and that's why we love Dimash. Wasn't expecting that. Big round of applause. Wasn't expecting that sudden whoop shift into the falsetto. That's impressive. So he pops up and all of a sudden it's falsetto in the end of this piece. So both sounds, so fully bent over, high mixed belt that he's screaming out there, needs incredible support. And then the falsetto needs the same kind of support, but it's just a different feeling. And it's just a different configuration of the vocal folds, which I've talked about before. The falsetto has partial closure of the vocal folds, and countertenors they have that ability to sing with a full fold closure sound. I don't actually know if the vocal folds do fully close in a countertenor sound. I'm assuming they probably do, just because the tone is so clear. And Dimash's is that kind of thing too. It's very, very clear. I want to hear that again. Shout out to the orchestra. They don't get enough credit, but they are clean. They are polished. They are very, very together. But let's listen to this dramatic high belt or high mixed belt from Dimash, like a rock scream, flip into falsetto land. So it's a totally different texture. And actually has more vibrato because he needs, I think he probably needs more air to circulate for the falsetto just to make it that clear. And it probably feels like when he switches, when he makes the flip from the high mixed belt, he probably feels a release of resistance abdominally, and then it flips, and then he's got so much air circulating that the vibrato just flies through. He even adds a little tiny H. You can hear the rearticulation of the folds going from full fold closure to partial fold closure. You can hear that in that switch, in that moment. Yeah. You can actually hear that very split second change in the voice. And he actually, on the high mixed belt, straight tones it a little bit leading up to that switch. I wonder why he made that decision. And just know in that final note, he is giving everything he can. He's giving his maximum airflow to that note because it's so high. And to sing that high a frequency, you have to be pumping so much air through your system to just get it to vibrate at that frequency. It's incredible. So I'm glad we could hone in this piece with some of the specifics of his voice. I feel like the last couple of videos I've done, maybe it was more about the performance. And this video, I really wanted to get into the nitty gritty. And I'm glad that this piece in particular allowed us the opportunity to do that because there's a lot at play with Dimash. And I think it's very easy to say as Dimash fans, oh, he's the best singer in the world just because. But if we actually have tangible reasons why he is so good, I think that would make you appreciate him more. I know it certainly allows me to appreciate him more because I understand, and hopefully now you do a little bit more, how difficult what he's doing is and how it's not an accident that he sounds the way he does or he's able to do the things that he does. Sure, he might have a natural affinity towards some of the things that he does, but there's a technique behind it. He has learned that technique, he has mastered that technique, and he uses it consistently in all of his music. So kudos to him. Well, that was a lot of fun. I'm really glad and really excited that we got to go break down Dimash's voice and talk about some of the things and figure out why he is so unbelievably good. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hopefully you'll enjoy some of the videos that are about to pop up on your screen in just a few moments. If you want your recommendations bumped up to the top of the list, don't forget to check out Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon, both of which are linked in the video description. Stay tuned for more Dimash. Don't forget to check out Patreon as well. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.